My name is Masood Lohar. I am basically an environmental and conservationist, and interest in history and archaeology is my passion. See, the most ancient religious book is Rig Veda, and Rig Veda talks about Indus River, and you must be knowing that Indus was the word given by Greeks, and basically it is Sindh or Sindhu. And even Hindu is also a corruption of the Sindh. So it means that it is from eternity, and it has been a very important river in this region. That's why we have Indus Valley civilization. Indus के साथ अप टू नॉर्दर्न एरियाज जितने भी लोग थे, वो ज़बान जो बोलते थे वो सिंधी से मिलती जुलती थी. जैसे सिंधी, फिर सराइकी, फिर पोटोहारी, सॉरी हिंदको, फिर पोटोहारी, फिर इस तरह. फिर आगे जाके वहाँ उसको कहते हैं, एक और लैंग्वेज है जो कश्मीरी में बोली जाती है, मुझे उसका नाम गुजरी. वो बिल्कुल सिंधी से मिलती जुलती हैं. तो इसका मतलब ये है कि पूरा इंडस रिवर के जो दोनों बैंक्स हैं उस पर ज़बान जो है मिलती जुलती बोली जाती थी. और दरियाए सिंध के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में, चूँकि बिफोर दीज डैम्स एंड ऑल अदर बैराजेस, ये जो ट्रेड थी वो मुकम्मल दरिया के ज़रिए से होती थी. बिफोर दी बैराजेस एंड डैम्स, इंडस वॉज अ लिविंग 24/7 365 days channel port, and even British themselves did trade through Indus River. And Indus used all these creeks that you see used to flow parallelly, so it was not saline coast, it was a fertile coast, lot of seeds, lot of native rice, and so it was a very agriculture wise and trade wise wonderful thing. So the trade and agriculture substituted each other, which is a very misunderstood line today in Pakistan, that people think that sweet water going to the Indus is a wastage of water. The primary port at the times of Arab invasion of Sindh was Debal, and that was a primary port, and it stayed until 9th century, when there was a massive earthquake of 7.4, which actually shifted the course of Indus River and substantially destroyed the whole port system. And it might have made changes in the creeks and the river's flow, but it continued to remain there because Al-Biruni has mentioned, and Al-Biruni came in a later stage. So I believe that until 14th century, Debal port remained there. It could be as a secondary port at that time, because Lahiri started working as a primary port from late 9th century. So it means after that earthquake, Debal remained there, but it was not a primary port, and Lahiri had actually taken over. But Lahiri has remained in operation for a longest period, like for 700 years, starting from 9th century up to 18th century. I can tell you that my rough assessment is that if you measure the total covered area of the original Lahiri port, I probably think that it was actually half of Karachi. It was that big. Lahiri remained a port, primary port, for 700 years, starting right from 9th century when Debal was destroyed in the earthquake. Al-Biruni and Ibn Battuta called them Lahiri and Lari or Lahori, which could be a little corruption because of the origin of Arabic language and Persian and all. Dr. Baloch believes that Lahiri was because of the name of that particular large boats which used to, because Lahiri was situated not on the open sea but on a creek, and that was a trend. Sindhi ports were never on the, Karachi is the only first Sindhi port which is on the open sea. Otherwise, they always created on creeks. So Lahiri, Dr. Baloch believes that Lahiri is the name of that particular boat, which is used to be bring the goods from the ships to the port. But then other scholars believe that it's Lari port. And Lard is because it's situated, Lard is the southern Sindh, is called Lard. My personal belief is that, it's my own opinion, that there was another very important city called Lihor. And there is this legend of Leela Chanisar. Chanisar was a Sumra king. Lihor was his capital. And we can believe that because if the Lihor was the capital, then Lihor's contributing port could be Lahiri. So it could be Lahori, could be, there's a little corruption of Lihor. The modern Jaki port is basically just the non-submerged portion of Lahiri port. But since Ibn Battuta and all these people are saying that the ruins of Debel were only 6 miles from Lahiri, and the place that I have established where I believe that the Debel port is still there, submerged, also is only 6 miles from that area. So it means it was a very, very large port. And you can imagine that if the city has stayed for 700 years, so you can imagine the expansion.